Welcome in to Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. So glad to have you with us. Coming up on today's show, we will preview Sunday's matchup between your Seattle Seahawks and the New York Football Giants. Before we do, though, we are in the midst of a like battle between us here at Seahawks Today and our New York Giants Now channel, hosted by Marshall Green. And there's nothing I would like to do more than crush Marsh and our Giants channel. We want to prove that Seahawks fans are not only the best fans on the face of the earth, but especially better than New York Giants fans. And so smash that like button on today's video. Let's take it to the Giants fans and show them what we're really about. We don't want to just win on Sunday. We want to win every day on the internet as well. So go ahead and like today's video, and we'll get started with today's show. Week number 8 in the National Football League, and two of the biggest surprises of this season meet up as the Giants take on the Seattle Seahawks here. You have a Giants team that's currently 6-1, and they are just a game out of first place behind the red-hot Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC East. Meanwhile, for the Seattle Seahawks, currently sitting at 4-3 in first place in the NFC West, and both these teams, neither one were expected to do much this year. The thought was that with the New York Giants, that this was a team under new head coach Brian Daboll that was kind of in rebuilding mode, that they were kind of starting from scratch with that organization. Meanwhile, for Seattle, moving on from Russell Wilson and everything, the hopes were not that high for most people going into this year with a very young team, but here both teams are right in the thick of things as we get close to the halfway point of the NFL season for what is setting up to be a sneaky good football game here between the Giants and the Seahawks. With that, the betting odds show Seattle as a 3-point favorite this week, something that we have not talked about much throughout this season of Seattle being favored. But nonetheless, here they are this week, a home favorite. The Giants and the Seahawks find themselves with an over-under at about 44.5. I will give you my pick coming up at the end of the show, but I want to hear from you first. Who do you got? You rolling with the Seahawks, or is it going to be the New York Football Giants? Who will it be? Let me know in the comments section. SEA for Seattle, NYG for the New York Giants. Let me know who your pick is going to be for this Sunday's matchup, whether it's the Seahawks or the Giants. Put it in the comments section and let me know who you got. So let's begin with the DK Metcalf front. The injury news in regards to DK Metcalf. The last update that we received, on Wednesday, he went through walkthrough, but did not practice. And DK Metcalf, it seems like he's pushing towards trying to play this weekend, but Pete Carroll said that Metcalf might not practice the rest of the week based on where this injury is at. But here's the thing. When it comes to this injury with DK Metcalf, remember, he got carted off, and they did x-rays and everything about it. There's no surgery required here. So even if DK does not feel up to speed and can't play this weekend, that's not the end of the world considering the discussion of where things were at with DK's injury just a couple of days ago. So while we would all love to see DK back on the football field, I think we're all just thankful that this situation is not worse than what it is for DK Metcalf. The rest of the injury report for Seattle, Gabe Jackson, Quentin Jefferson, Tyler Lockett, Poona Ford, Darrell Taylor, Ryan Neal, all of those guys are questionable, as well as Nick Bellore, Penny Hart, Sidney Jones, and Sidney Jones could be dealt in a trade in the next couple of days. We'll even see if he's a member of the Seahawks by Sunday. Artie Burns, Phil Haynes, and John Reed also on the injury report. And then the last part of the injury report for the Seahawks is the players that have come off IR in the PUP list within the last couple of weeks. Travis Homer with the rib injury, he's expected to be in the fold for Seattle. That seems to be a very good sign as he returned back to practice this week. Then there's Alton Robinson, John Radigan, Tyler Ott, and Trey Brown have all come off within the last couple of weeks or so. So, with the DK Metcalf situation, with what we know right now, do you think we're going to see DK play on Sunday? I'll tell you this much. He's going to do everything within his power to try to get on that football field on Sunday. I don't know if he's necessarily going to play, though. I'm not a doctor. Hard for me to say. What say you, though? If you think he's going to play Sunday, type Y for yes. If not, type in for no. Let me know what you think, if we'll see DK on Sunday or not. Y for yes, in for no. Got a great deal that we're offering. Speaking of DK Metcalf, jerseys on sale now. DK jerseys, whether it's the action green color or the neon green or the home blues or whites, whatever it may be, DK Metcalf jerseys are available now at chatsports.com/DK jersey. Get yours today so you can be styling and profiling, rocking out with your hawk out in some great Seahawks gear today. So let's get to my keys to victory for the Seattle Seahawks, and we begin with establishing the run. And look, the run game for Seattle has been really good the last few weeks. Kenneth Walker is leading the race to be Offensive Rookie of the Year right now for a reason. The run game has been awesome in large part to what he's done. Seattle right now is averaging over 5 yards a carry dating back to last season, and that's tied for the highest in the entire NFL. And remember, there was questions entering this year about Abraham Lucas and Charles Cross. How would those guys do when it came to learning how to run block? Well, based on the statistics, I think they're doing just fine. Kenneth Walker has just been on a tear as of late. The last 3 weeks, you can see the statistics as he had a career-high 167 yards last week and 2 touchdowns. Against Arizona, nearly 100 yards. Against New Orleans, had 88 yards and a touchdown run, 11 yards per carry. He has been a bad man the last few weeks, and I expect it to continue and that the Seahawks will use him a lot and establish that run game early on. Number 2 for keys to victory for the Seahawks is getting the tight ends involved. And we've seen from Seattle that they've had a good rotation between Will Dissly and Noah Fant and Colby Parkinson, that it's been a good trio between the three. None of the three have really stood out from one another. They all do something well that's different than each other. And for me, it doesn't matter which one it is, whether it's Dissly or Fant or Parkinson, but just somebody. Just get the ball to one of those guys and take advantage of where the New York Giants struggle when it comes to defending tight ends. As, get this, the Giants have allowed an average of 63 yards per game to tight ends, and that is the 5th worst of any team in the NFL this year. The Seahawks have to take advantage of getting the football through the air to their big fellas, as far as I'm concerned. Number 3 in our keys to victory for the Seahawks, get stripping. Not that kind of stripping, folks. We're talking about when it comes to forcing fumbles for this Seahawks defense. And I got to tell you, I've been so impressed with Coby Bryant and what this team has done to be able to force turnovers. I mean, turnovers, baby. Turnovers for all these people. Seattle's defense has forced 10 fumbles this season. That's more than any other team in the NFL. They've done a really good job of popping that football loose. And when you talk about a guy like Saquon Barkley, who's as good as any running back in the National Football League, how are you going to slow him down? Get that ball out and force some turnovers. Coby Bryant should be a big part of that as well. The rookie is currently leading Seattle in forced fumbles with 4. So of those 10 fumbles that they forced at this point, 40% of those have been from Coby Bryant. That is incredible what this guy has been able to do as being a ball hawk, being aggressive, not just in coverage, but also forcing those fumbles as well. He'll be somebody to watch for, and in particular, when it comes to Saquon Barkley, of trying to slow him down, get that ball loose and see what you can do to start stripping and take things away. What say you? You think Coby Bryant's going to have a big game? We talk a lot about Tariq Woolen, and rightfully so, but what about Coby? If you think he will, spam 8 for Coby in the chat. I love that he wears 8, by the way, with the name Coby Bryant. So fitting. Maybe later in his career he's going to wear 24. If you think he's going to do well and have a big game, type 8 for Coby in the chat. Subscribe to our channel here on Seahawks Today for the latest Seattle Seahawks news and rumors, as well as live shows every Wednesday at 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Pacific, and our watch parties, including this weekend. We will be here with you for the Seahawks and the Giants. We'll get started about 30 minutes before kickoff, do a little pregame show, and then we'll react to the game in real time, do a postgame show as well and have a few drinks on hand. It is guaranteed to be a good time. A little Halloween special edition of Seahawks Today Live. Join me about 30 minutes before kickoff. Myself and Jeffrey Cooperstein, our whole crew. It's guaranteed to be a good time. Sunday afternoon, be there or be square. Seahawks and Giants watch party here on Chat Sports. You will not want to miss. A couple more for you before I get to my pick. Let's look at big plays and the big playability of this Seattle Seahawks offense. And this statistic might surprise some folks out there, but what's really interesting for this Seahawks offense is that 11 touchdowns that they've scored have been of 20 yards or more, and that's first among every team in the NFL this year. Nobody has a bigger big playability than this Seattle Seahawks team in the NFL. This team can be explosive. All gas, no brakes, put the pedal to the metal, baby. And in particular, I want to see more from Geno Smith. Now, if you look at the passing chart for Geno Smith, the vast majority of his passes are in the medium and the short passing game. But I want to see more of the deep passes because the numbers tell me that things go up quite a bit, actually. 8 touchdowns, just 1 interception of passes of 20 yards or more. 10 to 19-yard range, only 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. Short passing game, 1 touchdown and 1 interception. So with that, the statistics, the analytics tell you, look, Geno's best when he's going deep, when he's taking shots. That turns into points more times than it does otherwise. So for me, I like what I've seen from Geno Smith. And I know that this is a conversation that might surprise some people that we're having at this point with where expectations were. But I would say, Geno, take some more chances. Take some shots downfield and see if it pays off for you. I'd like to see more of that because the numbers say that Geno can do that and can be effective doing it. Last one for keys to victory for the Seahawks is starting fast. And I feel like we talk about this every week here on this show, but it rings true of what the data shows here. And in that first 30 minutes, what I call the 30 minutes of hell for opposing defenses, Seattle has scored on nearly 60% of their first half drives this season. Whether it's been 3 points or 7 points, Seattle has been really good about getting off to fast starts this year. First in the NFL. They score more of their first half drives than any other team. Keep that going. Don't let up. And just let those defenses have it from the get-go. Send a message to that New York Giants defense that it is going to be a long day, that they're going to have to earn everything. So, to recap, my 5 keys to victory for the Seahawks. Establish the run. Get the tight ends involved. Get stripping, force some fumbles. Get the big plays offensively. And then number 5, start fast. Use your guys like Tyler Lockett and company to get the passing game rolling, get the ball moving. You do all those things, I think that's the Seahawks victory. In fact, I'm picking the Seahawks this week. Going to be a good game. The Giants are a good football team. I think it comes right down to the very end, but the Seahawks get it done 30-27 and get their 5th win of the 2022 season. Before we go, now it's your turn. How do you see this game playing out? Not just who wins, but what will the score be for Sunday's game between the Seahawks and Giants? Let me know in the comments section. Predict the score for Sunday. Who do you got? What the score will be? And as always, you can interact with me on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, everything in between. I'm on all those social media platforms at Tyler Jones Live, talking about your Seattle Seahawks. And I will see you next time right here on Seahawks Today. Thanks for joining us.